Hi, I want to tell you what I just purchased and why. A lot of preppers and people that say prep tell you to go out and buy ammo, guns, uh, $50,000 in food. What if you don't have that kind of money and you want to be prepared for something, anything? What if you want to be prepared for the Democrats making things 1,000 times worse? We've seen food prices skyrocket, we've seen gas skyrocket. So, what are you going to do in a situation where there's a total collapse because of what they've been doing? Now we know Black Lives Matter and Antifa have been killing people, beating people up, stealing, looting, rioting. How are you going to protect you and your family from a couple of rioters and looters that break into your house if you can't afford a gun, one, or if for whatever reason you can't pass a background check? There's not much you can do about the gun, but you can buy certain things to be prepared in case something happens. Now, here I just bought a bow. This is the cheapest bow literally on eBay. Now, they are out of the 40 pound. I did purchase a 40 pound. This is from just a few minutes ago, and today is July 4th of all days. And I'm talking about defending yourself from a riot or a mob, or even if things get really bad and you have to hunt for your own food. The reason I purchased this is not to just keep it in the house hanging on the wall. I bought this to go in my emergency kit. Now, this bow does break down. It is a really cheap bow. Alright? The price for the 30 pound bow is $22.39. Now, I paid a little bit extra for the 40 pound, and I guarantee these bows will not pull 40 pounds. The 30 pound bow will probably pull around 25 to 29 pounds if you're lucky on the 29 pound. But having someone standing in front of you with a bow with an arrow pointed towards your face is something that would be pretty scary. Now, I also purchased this not just for defense, mainly if things get really bad and we have to hunt our own food. Now, if things are that bad where you have to hunt your own food and everybody's scavenging and scrounging for food, you want something that's quiet. You do not want a gun. A gun gives away your position. You want to be able to defend yourself, maybe hide behind a tree if someone comes up to your house, and take them out without notifying other people that you are there. Now, mostly this bow was purchased for not so much self-defense or protection, but it could be used for that. And I'm going to show you what else I purchased. Now, for everything. Now, I purchased my bow for $23.99 for the 40 pound. Now, unfortunately, this place is out of 40 pounds, and all they have is the 30 pound left, and they are $27.99 each for the 30 pounds. That's just for the bow. Everything combined, everything I purchased was $45.46. All right. Now, I hope you can see this. Here's the arrows up top. I purchased 6 arrows. That's all I need. But I purchased arrows that I could exchange or change the tips on. I also purchased some Razor 3-blade crossed broadhead arrows, the arrowheads for bow archery, fishing, hunting, such and such. These are basically 3 razor blades on a bow arrow tip. Alright. Here's the arrows I purchased. And you can see the tip does unscrew, and you can screw in different tips. Now, if you're defending yourself against someone, I would not use this tip that comes on this arrow. If you are having to take someone out, do not use this tip. Change the tips. You want a tip that will do as much damage as possible. If you're hunting, Don't use this small tip like this. Change the tips. You need something that will take an animal down. A deer. Now, would I attempt to go up against a grizzly bear with a 40-pound bow? Of course not. But taking down a deer or a rabbit or something so you can survive, yes. I would use, depends on what I'm hunting. These tips will be fine for like rabbits and small animals, but for bigger game like a deer, you definitely need a different tip than this. These are the tips that I purchased. This will do some major damage. And imagine this, if you get shot with a tip that is nothing but a point, you can pretty much pull it out. It depends on where it hits you. It's not going to do that much damage. But if you get hit with something like this, just pulling that out is going to cause a lot of damage. So, I did purchase tips to replace the ones that came on the arrows. Now remember, I only bought 6 arrows. I do not need a lot of arrows. This will definitely go on my emergency kit for some type of emergency situation, or if I needed to hunt with. Now remember, I do have a lot of problems when it comes to holding things steady, and especially on my left side. So 40 pounds, and trust me, that's not going to be a 40 pound. There's no way. It's cheap. It's made from China. So I figure maybe around 30-pound draw on the 40-pound one. The 30-pound one will probably have around a 22 to 28, maybe a 29-pound draw. So if you can get a 40-pounder, do it. If all you can get is the 30-pounder, definitely change the tips on your arrows. Get something that's much deadlier. And here's a picture of the bow. Is it the best bow in the world? Absolutely not. It is not a compound bow. It's something I can easily handle myself. Now, for me to pull back a compound bow, it wouldn't be worth the cost of me purchasing a compound bow, because I'd never be able to pull it back. And, something like this, I could hunt small game. I could hunt deer, especially once I changed the tips on the arrows. And I could take somebody down with this bow. Now, I just purchased the arrows and the tips, so my payment is pending. $12.59 for 6 arrows, and $8.88 for the cross blade arrow tips. See here, it shows they're out of the 40 pound. All they have is 30 pound left. Let me see if that shows. And right here's the total cost for everything. $45.46. Right here shows I did purchase the 40 pound. All 3 of these items combined, the bow, the arrows, and the new tips, they will do major damage. The total cost was $45.46. Think about that. Less than $50. You can protect yourself against someone that's trying to break into your house. You shoot them with one of these arrows with one of these crossblade tips on it. If they don't go down, they're going to be lucky, real lucky, if they can't get to a hospital, if they don't die. Because these tips are designed to do damage while they're being pulled out as well, not just going in. So, for some type of backup or emergency kit, or even prepping, it is really good idea to have some type of bow and arrows This is my latest purchase, and unfortunately, the way things are going now, the Democrats are destroying this country. I mean, completely destroying this country. We have seen food prices skyrocket, gas prices skyrocket. We have seen the border literally just opened wide open for hundreds of thousands of people. Now, these hundreds of thousands of people coming here literally should be shot on sight. They are an invading army. When you have hundreds of thousands of people from other countries invading your country, they are an invading army. They should be treated as such. Right here, though, if you want to get something pretty cheap, like I said, if you can't afford a gun, the ammunition, or for some reason because they made it to where if you were convicted of a crime that would have gotten you 1 year, you can never buy a gun, literally. So even if you had parking tickets that would have got you a year in jail, you can never buy a gun. What do? How do you defend yourself? How do you hunt for food? How do you survive? Especially if you are low on money or funds. $45.46 is what I paid for the bow, the arrows, and the new arrow tips. These new tips will cause a lot of damage. If somebody was breaking into my house, I wouldn't grab this bow. I'd grab my machete. But if I saw people coming, or I knew they were coming to my house to try to steal from me, I could hide out in the yard, let them pass me, and take them down one at a time with this bow. Here's what the arrows look like. I apologize for the quality and the shaking. Here's the tips. They do have different color tips. They do have different color arrows. I just got the black tips. It didn't really matter to me. And there's 12 tips here, so if one breaks, I have replacements. Like I said, I only have 6 arrows. Pretty much the arrows can cost as much as the bow, and then you have to put tips on them if you want it to be deadly or hunt with it. Alright, I just showed you what else I got. I am waiting on these. I just purchased the arrows and arrow tips, so payment is pending, but it will go through without a problem. The bow is absolutely on the way, so when it gets here, I may show you that once the arrows and the tips get here. But for a total price, now remember, I did not purchase the 30 pound, I did get the 40 pound. The 40 pound was a little bit more. The 30 pound is $27.99 right now. $45.46 is what this cost me to purchase. Do I think I'm Hawkeye off Avengers? Absolutely not. I have not picked up a bow in 35 years, literally. But it would not take me long to get the hang of it again. Since this is a small recurve bow, it wouldn't take me long to get the hang of it. Since it doesn't have a super strong draw on it to where you would be struggling with it, most people could use a bow like this. And if you replace those tips on these arrows, it makes it 100 times more deadly. The entire cost, bow, arrows, and brand new tips, screw-on tips, $45.46. Alright, I'm fixing to go. My camera's already 15 minutes. I apologize for the quality of this video. I did not really want to set up my large camcorder for this, but I may set up my big camcorder when everything comes in, so I can show you exactly what everything looks like. Alright, that's it. I'm Fish and Go. Everyone have a good one, and remember, if you're prepping, don't just prep food, water, or water purification tablets. You have to prep for survival as well, and that includes defending yourself against intruders or looters or rioters, or hunting if you need to hunt. Once again, a gun will always give off your position. So if you have to go on somebody's land and take a deer down, they're going to know you're there. Alright, I'm Fish and Go. Everyone have a good one. I'm sorry about the quality, and we'll see you on the next video. And by the way, I did shave, so I'm going to let you see what I look like now. I don't know if you can see me, but anyway, I'm Fish and Go. If you have any questions about any of my videos or want me to do something specific for you about anything on my videos, let me know. I'm usually more than happy to do it. Alright, bye.